and welcome to Ship of Fools, a nautical D&D actual play podcast. My name is Hannah McLean, and I am, as always, your dungeon master on this nautical adventure. Joining me today, I have Andy Latai,
Finn Fisher,
Nolani Stevenson,
Regin Stockweather,
and Taylor Wallace.
Malachi Kassir.
So, let's do a little bit of a recap, and then we will dive back into episode 68. So, last session, you guys had just finished repelling an attack on the mining city of Marquan. You managed to push back Lithios's forces, you and the rest of Marquan's defenders, but it looks like Lithios has just pulled back to regroup rather than leaving entirely. So, you met Regin's biological father, Railthor, who finally got to see Regin and to catch up, to have a little father-son bonding time, a little exposition from him to the rest of you all. You also spoke with the leaders of Marquan and learned from them that they believe that the next step that needs to be taken is that someone needs to take out the drill that Lithios used to break through the rock walls of the island that Marquan is inside of. If the drill is disabled, then Marquan can patch the hole and be able to repel Lithios much more effectively. This is convenient for those of you who are revenge-minded, as you happened to glimpse Dr. Retval through the front windows of the drill at the end of your last battle. You also learned from Railthor that that the real secret of Marquan is a portal to the elemental plane of Earth hidden deep within the mines, which would be somewhat catastrophic for Lithios to get their hands on, aside from all the resources of Marquan itself. And also from Railthor, Regin received the Refining Gauntlets, a powerful magical item that is enhancing his natural abilities.
Yeah, I'm very refined.
Yeah. So, you all coordinated with the forces of Marquan to send a distracting amount of dynamite to the Lithios fleets that are on the surface, while the three of you, along with Alden, were going to go into the ocean and make your way to this submarine drill. So, that's where we're picking up. So, the four of you, Andy, is Nurgle in crab form right now, or is he just, still in gull form, but in a pocket dimension, so he's not drowning?
Oh, yeah, good point. Let's say I turned him into crab form.
Okay. So, Nurg Crab, plus the four of you are swimming toward this drill. Above you, you can distantly hear the muffled explosions and see little, glimpses of fire. Marquan does not have enough dynamite, and Lithios has enough defenses, arcane shields and such that can be thrown up in front of the ships, that you know that the whole fleet is not going to be disabled here, but it is sufficiently distracting that the submarines, these few submarines that had been patrolling around the drill, have turned their attention toward the surface and are starting to surface so that they can help. Meanwhile, you guys are swimming toward the drill. I do still need stealth checks from you. You've created this distraction, but you are still swimming. So everyone, please give me stealth checks. That would be wonderful.
I'm gonna merge with Stone, since we are on the rocky ocean floor.
Okay.
24.
21.
19.
Okay. 31 from Alden with Pass Without Trace.
Jesus.
Oh my god, we forgot Alden! Where'd Alden go?
Right here.
Alden!
Right here.
Ah!
Again, I was a spy.
Sometimes I feel like I don't even know you, Alden.
He winks.
You literally don't. You don't know it.
We're very close. What are you talking about?
So, with those rolls, none of the submarines above you notice. So as you get closer to the drill, few things that you spot. As you get to be within 50 feet or so, you can see that there is a hatch, I guess. Like one of those, like, turning wheels that you turn and presumably opens a circular door.
Classic submarine, yeah.
Classic submarine situation. A pretty big one from the looks of it on top of the drill. You can also see that, like, perched on either side of the hatch, unmoving, are these two, like, spider-like constructs. They are not currently moving, but you can see, like, eyes that are lit up, kind of, like, searching out into the ocean. But they have not spotted you yet with those stealth rolls. They're just sort of looking around.
Are they similar to the ones that we encountered in Revel's Tower, or are they more advanced?
They look like not the exact same models, if anything, adapted for, you know, being outside of a submarine. But it looks like similar techniques. You can identify these as probably being Redfall's work. And they are just kind of, like, squatted, the two of them on either side of this hatch. The drill portion of the drill is pointed toward Marquand. So if you're coming from Marquand, you're kind of hitting it straight on.
I would like to not go straight at the drill tip.
Okay. So you're kind of, like, coming at the side a little bit?
I would like to, like, do, like, a big skirt around, honestly.
Awesome.
Like, I want to be coming at it as from Marquand as possible.
Okay. So as you, like, scoot around the outside, kind of taking this, what you know is good stealth and the advantage of the distraction that is still going on above you, to swim around it, you note that there is a second hatch at the very back of the drill, kind of like right on that. So this thing is about 200 feet long in total and about 30 feet wide at every point. And you can kind of surmise that probably there's going to be multiple rooms in there. It's not just the cockpit that you glimpsed into. The hatch around the back is smaller. The one on top looks like it's big enough to kind of, like, bring in supplies or constructs or things that are bigger than a person. The one on the back is smaller, like it is just large enough to fit a medium creature. But it is not guarded. There is no construct, like, standing on or by this thing. There's just the two on top.
Okay.
Well, they always say that backdoor guests are the best.
I mean, if we wanted, I could probably get some fish to, like, swim in front of the lens to block those security drones or whatever.
Yeah, I was...
Muddle up their view.
Basically, I don't know if, like, those becoming activated will send an alert that someone's trying to break in or not, or if they're just, like...
I would guess that there's an alert.
Is it best to just avoid them completely?
Yeah.
Versus interface with them and risk, yeah. My personal instinct is to go in the butthole.
Oh, I absolutely don't want to go in the one that they're guarding.
Yeah, I kind of vote butthole, but I also do think that...
Regin, save that for after the fight, all right?
Hey.
Who taught you about that?
And also after marriage!
No, I do think that if it is, like, a quote-unquote natural disturbance, in that it is, like, a school of fish passes by really slowly... or whatever. Like...
the rare slow fish of the Marquand Sea.
The rare blanket fish.
Yeah, like, Redfall knows what Fing can more or less do.
That's true. He might be on the lookout for suspicious fish activity.
Yeah.
Also, he doesn't necessarily know we're here.
I think you guys...
Did he make eye contact with us in Marquand?
He did not make eye contact with you himself, but you know that, like, you made a splash in that fight, and then Lithios regrouped and has had the same hour that you've had.
That's true.
Damn. Fucked up that they got that hour, too.
No. They've all short rested also.
Ugh.
Alright, then maybe let's just go in through the back.
Yeah, but I guess we also have to assume that the back will be guarded on the inside or something, because...
Well, I don't think there's any way we get in this without fighting some people inside.
I think we're going to have to fight on the inside no matter what. But if you're the crony who's guarding the butthole of the drill, you're probably not going to be the strongest guy on board, you know?
Well, fucking idiot pulled butthole duty today.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like...
Private.
In my personal experience, if I was guarding an asshole, you know, I wasn't...
Yeah, what if you were guarding an asshole, Malachi?
I mean, you've been doing a great job of keeping Regin safe this whole time.
Hey, I was making a constipation joke and you're just imputing my character.
I protect assholes every day of my life.
I whisper reverently under my breath, and yet he'll never use his own.
He's protecting it for marriage.
Okay, so you guys, do you swim up to the back of the drill?
Yeah.
Stealthily.
Subtly.
Okay. So very, very quietly, you all swim close to this hatch. As you do, as you get, like, up close enough to touch it, although you have not touched it yet, you notice that there is, like, a slight, shimmering that you have seen enough arcane force fields by now to notice one when you see it, kind of on the outside of this. As you draw near, I will allow everybody to make either an arcana or a perception check about this force field.
I'm also gonna turn on Detect Magic as I inspect this.
Nice.
19 perception.
I got a 16 perception.
12 Arcana.
Okay, so I will say that Malachi and Regin, you guys both notice as you're looking at it that, like, the force field is like half an inch away from the metal of the drill itself, and in that half inch, there's no water.
Oh.
It looks like this is what's keeping the drill kind of dry, is that it's keeping the water out. A 12 Arcana is not, you can tell that it's a force field of some sort, and you can surmise the same thing that they do, that it's repelling the water. I don't think you can tell anything more about it. But your Detect Magic does kind of light up like, yep, this is like an abjuration blanket, like around the entire drill, front to back, top to bottom, just encompassing the whole thing. It does not go around the constructs up top. They're not included in the force field. It's just the drill itself.
So, could we just dispel this thing and, like, drown him in the hull?
Oh, I do like drowning people.
Reagan's perception check would be able to tell that the submarine, like, does look like it's waterproof beyond that, but this is, like, an additional measure and probably part of what's keeping it so waterproof.
All right.
I mean, do we think that's just water? Do we think something bad will happen if we go through the membrane, or is it just for waterproofing?
Maybe we should send a fish in.
How dare you!
Or you can go, Finn, whatever, I guess.
What if it was like a willing fish? What if a fish bravely volunteered to lay down his life in pursuit of liberty and happiness and whatever?
No, I'm not gonna throw their lives away for this.
You can ask them.
I don't think I will.
Fine, send Nurgle in.
No.
Why? You can just use 10 minutes to bring him back.
We don't have 10... Well, I don't know. We might have 10 minutes. I'm not really sure.
We've already spent an hour.
Well, Hannah, with Detect Magic, can I tell, like, is this a danger to me, or is it just to keep water out?
You don't know, because abjuration can sometimes involve things that are dangerous, and all you're getting is kind of a strong abjuration vibe. But you don't see, like if it was like you touch it and it blows you up, you might expect to see some like evocation flavor in there, and you don't see anything like that. So that's encouraging, at least.
I'm gonna poke through it with my mage hand.
Yeah, the mage hand goes through, and do you touch the drill?
No, just go through the force field.
Okay. You very lightly push the tip of the mage hand finger through the force field without actually touching the drill. It goes through, nothing seems to happen.
Alright, seems fine to me.
Maybe it's best that we just go in fast.
Yeah, I mean, I think once we're inside the drill, stealth is gonna be less of a concern.
I don't know, maybe they don't have walkie-talkies.
I'm a walkie-talkie.
Yes, you are.
Alden, any thoughts on this as somebody who used to be a spy and...
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I noticed the same thing as you did about the whole water not going through. I would bet that it might set off an alarm. I don't think it'll harm us, especially based on Finn's mage hand. It very well might set off an alarm, but Lithios doesn't. I mean, magic is a limited resource. Constructing a spell that does two things is harder than constructing a spell that does one. So if the design of it, I mean, I'd bet the other submarines have it too. He kind of like points up to the other submarines above you, which the distraction seems to be settling down. The kind of the dynamite stores got used pretty quickly, but I bet the other submarines have it too. It probably. If there's an alarm, there's an alarm.
Alright, let's just go in.
If we're setting off alarm anyways, we might as well send fish up towards the spider creatures. Have them guess at which door we're going through.
Good idea, yeah. Scramble them.
Yeah. I'm gonna reach out telepathically to any nearby fish, which I did tell some fish to be standing by.
Yeah.
and say, all right, on my signal, go just, like, swim around those robots up there. Just sort of annoy them a little.
What? Oh, okay. Those robots look dangerous.
Well, I mean, get out of there if they turn out to have any sharp bits.
Finn, will you make a persuasion check?
It's a nat 20.
Nice.
So 29 altogether.
Yeah. Cool. So you say get out of there if they turn out to be sharp, and all the fish go, oh, we didn't think of that. Okay, yeah, got it. And you see like a whole bunch of fish just like start swimming over from where Finn told them to stand by. You see a school of several different type of fish descending on the top of this drill.
Okay, they don't always understand the concept of waiting for a signal, so let's go. Let's get in.
Okay.
Malachi would like to take point on the door.
Okay, so you grab this turning wheel that opens this hatch. You start to turn it. It's clearly locked somehow.
I've got something for this. Wow, thematic to use this against Red Ball. I fish through my pocket, and you see I take out like a dozen different miscellaneous magic trinkets.
Come on! Malachi's like waving his hand.
Before I pull out the slide whistle I stole from Retval's lab that unlocks any door. And I take a deep breath underwater somehow, don't worry about it, and blow on it and do a little...
Except there's bubbles.
Yeah.
Blur, blur, blur.
Yeah, that's an item that you took 40 episodes ago or whatever it was. You blow the slide whistle, and you all like sort of hear this like muted underwater noise, and Malachi, the wheel, as you're kind of like trying to force it to go, suddenly turns under your hands.
He'll rue the day he invented a slide whistle that unlocks doors for some reason.
You are able to turn it really fast, and you can pull the door open. You see that even though the door is open, the arcane membrane continues to hold back the water, and you can just sort of like step through it.
Can I try using shape water just to like move some water through the force field and see if it can get through?
Yeah, it doesn't work. You like tug it, and it's sort of like you can feel it as if you were pulling through, but it just like gets stuck. Okay, so you open this hatch. You see into an empty room, and a very small room. Looks like it's maybe only like the 30 feet that the drill is wide by like 10, 15 feet. This is clearly some sort of like entry chamber. There is another door, this one looking like a normal door, albeit also made out of metal. Everything in here is made of metal. And there are like some like supplies and stuff in here, what look like kind of like wetsuits. There isn't all of the they don't have like scuba gear and stuff in here, but Finn, you still have detect magic up, and so you can see that these like suits that are hanging on the wall are magical. A combination of magic signatures, but that look sort of similar to, you know, water suits that would let you go out in the water and still be able to breathe.
I would like to take out one of my daggers and just like quickly rip holes in as many as is possible.
Yeah, can we wreck those suits?
Yeah, sure. Regin, you step through the door, kind of this weird feeling as you pass through the membrane and go from, there's like that gap where no water's allowed in is super weird because it's just like a drop to the sea floor from there. But then you step and are dripping wet on the floor of this room, and you grab your dagger and you just start ripping through these suits.
I would assume Alden would also help me destroy. I just want to destroy everything in this room.
Yeah, I think we're trying to wreck whatever technology in here that they have.
For sure. He takes like one more good look around to make sure that no one is coming. Seems like no one is. And then he sort of, once everybody's inside, he'll pull the door shut behind you guys.
Finn is watching you guys destroy those suits with your daggers, just staring at them like, I can't decide if this is a grave affront to the sanctity of the sea or a step in the right direction for the surface.
Malachi leaves the rest of the destruction of these things to Regin and Alden and heads towards the other door. Mm-hmm. And I want to put my ear up against it.
Yeah, make a perception check.
5?
Okay. It's a pretty thick metal door. You can't hear anything. You just hear, like, the sort of rushing of water and the sounds of your friends behind you, but you can't hear.
There's no, like, windows for them to see who's entering the chamber and stuff?
It doesn't look like it.
Okay. I want to look up and check for security cameras.
Good thought. No, nothing that you can see. And you don't hear, at least not in this room, you don't hear, like, a blaring alarm or anything like that. It still seems pretty quiet. And no one is, like, as you're taking 30 seconds or whatever it is to rip these suits apart, no one is coming to attack you.
All right. I'd like to lock the door from the inside if we can. The one that we just came through.
Yeah, there's, like, once you pull it shut, you can see that there's, like, a bar to, like, slide across that locks it.
Okay. All right. I assume the door that we're next to, I'm assuming, is locked, but I'll try it.
It is locked, yeah.
Yeah. Finn, again?
Of course. I take my slide whistle and blow into it, and instead of the whistle sound, you just hear a pff as a bunch of water sprays out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to kind of shake the water out and do it again. But you hear, like, a click in the door mechanism.
Any precautions we want to take before we go through there?
Shields up.
I'm prepared to Eldritch Blast whoever's in there.
All right. I would like to crack open the door and pop my little head through real quick.
Okay. You crack open the door, pop your head through. Are you trying to
see what the next room looks like.
Are you doing it fast or doing it quiet?
I was trying to do the door quietly, and my head, I just wanted to boop, boop, see if I could get a quick lay of the land.
So then make a stealth check.
25.
Cool. So you crack open the door and kind of, like, peek through, and you can just barely see. So what's in front of you here is a somewhat long hallway, although clearly not the full length of the drill. Looks like it's more like 80, 100 feet long. So a long hallway, but not the full length. And you can see, like, a few doors, kind of like, it's very narrow, only about 5 feet wide. And you can see doors on either side of it. Probably, like, 2 or 3 doors on each side. And you can see, kind of in the middle here, is a singular one of these, like, spidery droid-looking things. Kind of looks like it's walking back and forth along the hallway. Currently, it is walking you got lucky, and it's walking the other direction right now. So its eyes are not pointed toward you, and you're able to kind of glance and pull your head back out.
I feel like we gotta play this like a Mario level where we just jump over the guys.
Yeah, if you jump on its head exactly once, it dies, actually. Crazy how they're designed.
We're great at dropping onto things.
Yeah, so you're able to pull your head back without being spotted. And you don't see anything else moving in that hallway. It's just this one spider.
I relay the information to my party.
Well, let's destroy it.
You want to start blasting, or I don't even think there is a subtler way to do this.
Now, what if we lure it into this room?
And just shut it in?
Yeah, and we do a little switcheroony.
I suppose we might as well try.
So how do we lure it? Should, like, one of us dresses up as, like, a sexy spider robot and is like, come in here?
Right, it just had one with the eyelashes.
Yeah. Some lipstick.
Maybe a slight pink tinge.
Right, but what if it's already got a sexy spider partner behind one of those closed doors?
Are you worrying about if the spider is monogamous?
No, I'm worrying about... Maybe it'll just call its friends and be like, oh yes, there you are, sexy. There's someone back there trying to trick me, and they all come after us.
Then we just need more sexy eye spiders.
Maybe the spiders want an orgy.
A sporgy.
I think it's worth it to try and lure it in, because we're going to have to either attack it or lure it anyways. Can we all line up against the wall so that it can't see us from the door, and then...
Yeah, no, like, if we're flush against the wall that has the door in it, and Finn Minor Illusions something that's towards the back hatch.
Yeah.
Like, perhaps some sort of, like, rabid sea animal that somehow got in and has been ripping up all of their suits.
Mm-hmm.
Could I use Minor Illusion to create a, like, perspective-shifted illusion of the hallway floating right in front of the spider?
Whoa.
So that as it walks, it doesn't realize that it's actually walking further than it thought it was, and thus get it to go into this room when it thinks it's still in the other hallway?
That does seem like maybe a major illusion if it's hiding us.
Yeah.
Well, but it would just be a little thing floating in front of his eyes.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, transforming the terrain.
love the concept. So, okay, wait. So, like...
It's like I'm using minor illusion to, like, strap VR goggles on the spider eyes.
Finn has invented the Oculus Rift, and it's just gonna, when it turns around, it'll just keep on walking until it hits.
Exactly, until it's in the room with us.
Okay. I will say yes, you can. I will make a intelligence check for the robot to see if it's fooled by this.
All right.
If it's like, hey, I've taken 37 paces instead of 24.
Yeah, exactly.
Boy, I hope this thing's movements are vision-based.
Okay, so you guys all kind of, like, line up on either side of the door, and then you just kind of, like, push it open.
Oh, I was really envisioning it being a pull door. That's too bad.
Actually, I think it kind of has to be a pull door, so you pull it open, and either way, you get the door open. And actually, maybe it could be one of those slide doors. You slide the door out of the way. That saves space on a submarine, and it feels like that makes the most sense, actually. You slide the door out of the way. You hear, now that the door is open, you can hear the kind of, like, of a bunch of legs against the metal floor. You hear it, like, reach the end of the hallway, turn around, and then kind of, like, tick, 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 down the hallway toward you, getting louder, and then it speeds up, tick, 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 as if it is, like, running toward you. Finn, you put the illusion up in front of its eyes?
Yeah.
Okay, let me roll.
Oh, no.
Cool. You hear the tick, 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 kind of like slow, like it sounds confused as it gets very close. The sound's just like slow, and then you hear a very fast, like, couple of steps, and this thing bursts into the room with you, it rolled a nat 20 on its intelligence check.
No!
So it's not, it realizes it was being tricked, but it still has the effect of getting it to burst into the room where the four of you are. Everybody's prepared, so no surprise from anyone, because it knew there was a threat in here, but go ahead and roll initiative.
7.
8.
Malachi, you better say 9.
17.
Damn it.
And Nurgle has 13.
Okay, Malachi, you act first. You guys are in this small, narrow room. The door is open. This large-sized spider drone is in the room, kind of right between, I'm gonna say that Finn and Malachi were on one side, Regin and Alden were on the other, closer to where they were ripping apart the wetsuits.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to try grabbing Finn and pushing him through the door to the other side. The hallway.
Woo!
I don't know if you can do that. Like, I think Finn has to... It's size large, so it's occupying those spaces.
Oh, so this is bigger than us.
I don't know. I will let you do that, but it has to be your action, because you are grappling Finn and pushing, like, maneuvering him around.
Yeah, no, I expected to have to use my action.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. Yeah, so you grab Finn and kind of shuffle him around through the hallway.
Yeah, Finn is now in the hallway. I will use my movement to get between it and Alden and Regin.
Okay, sure. You scoot around to the other side of it so that you're standing right in front of it. That's Nerd Crab, Andy.
Well, I assume Nurkrab was, like, on my shoulder, in my pocket or something, so he's with me in the hallway. Not sure there's much for us to do, buddy, but if I attack, give me advantage.
He would screech if he were a seagull. He scuttles on your shoulder.
You just feel the little legs moving in your pocket.
Yeah.
Also, now that we are in the hallway, you can see Finn's minor illusion still floating in the air, and it's just not realistic at all. It's a very crude illusion. And he's like, alright, I guess that was a little complicated to attempt. Alright.
Cool. Regin, that's actually your turn.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
We're just shutting it in, right? We don't want to have to fight it.
Yeah, can I, if I'm going before Alden, can I shove Alden past me through the door?
You can. I will note that since he's on the same initiative as you, the chances of it acting between you and him seem slim, though not impossible. But it would make sure that all three of you were in the hallway.
Yeah. So I'm gonna shove him through, and then I'm gonna take my movement to boop, you know?
Okay, so
I'm moving like a horse chess piece.
Finn, Alden, and Regin are now in the hallway. Malachi and this thing are...
Malachi makes himself real big, like, I'm still in here, the party's in here.
Okay. That's Alden's turn. I guess, so, if this is the plan, he could run up front, grab Malachi, pull him through, and then object interaction shut the door.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
If he can, that'd be great.
So yeah, he will just, like, reach out and grab Malachi's arm and, like, pull him. It will take an opportunity attack on Regin, who is the only person who has now moved out of its threatened area freely without it being forced movement. So it will take an opportunity attack.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna use my reaction to intercept anyways, though.
So, and I don't even think it hits. That's a 11 to hit.
Yeah, and I have 17 AC right now.
Damn. Those gauntlets. Yeah, so it lashes out with one of these legs, and you can see that it's the legs that it balances on are, like, incredibly sharp at the tip. So it stabs at you, Regin, as you scramble into the hallway, but you manage to just barely duck under it. Alden, like, reaches past you, grabs Malachi's arm, and drags him into the hallway. So now all four of you are crammed in this hallway, and then Alden will use his object interaction to slam the door shut.
Right before the door shuts, you see Finn makes a gesture, and suddenly there's an illusion of a sexy lady spider drone on the other end of the room. Maybe that'll distract him. He won't notice we're gone.
What if the spider drone that we just attacked was a sexy lady spider drone?
Well, hopefully she's butch.
So... I didn't expect to have to answer the question of whether these guys can open doors.
It can try.
Like, all they have are spiky legs. It doesn't have, like, an opposable thumb with which to grasp what I'm now imagining is, like, a groove in a sliding door. But also, like, it could probably just kind of, like, get its little claws in there and shove. I'm gonna make a sleight of hand check to see if this thing can shove the door open. If it beats,
Can't we lock it?
Well, he shut it. That was the object interaction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Our locking, it would have to be a separate thing.
Yeah, and there also, like, weirdly enough, isn't an obvious lock. There was on the hatch, but even though this one was locked when you tried to pull on it, there's no obvious lock here.
We could put a pole in between it and the wall.
You could, I will say, like, when you guys have your actions, I will allow you to use your action to hold the door shut, if you'd like. But before anyone can do that, if it gets above a 17, I'll say that it can open the door and still have its action. If it gets above a 10, I'll say that it can open the door, but it takes its whole action. If it fails, then it can't open the door. Okay, that is a total of 7. So you hear a whole bunch of clanking and scrabbling on the other side. You can see that the door is, like, shifting, and you can see, like, the tips of points, like, shoving under this door, like it's trying to open it.
That's why you gotta build your constructs with hands.
But you can't see, the door is not opening. That is gonna be Finn's turn. But I will say, Finn, as we're on your turn, this thing, its attempts to break through the door are making a lot of noise. Way more than you guys made when you came in. There's a tremendous amount of clanging coming through. And your passive perception is high enough that you can hear movement coming from some of the rooms on your side. The opposing door is kind of, like, down at the end of the hallway. No one has opened any of the side doors yet. But you can hear that there's movement.
Do we just make a break for it through the next door?
Yeah, I suppose we want to get to Retval first. We can clear other stuff out later if we need to.
All right, so I'm gonna run down the hallway to the other door. As I go, do any of these doors have windows on them?
You start to run down the hall. You can see that there are, like, small windows in a couple of these doors. I'm going to say that there are 2 doors on your left and 3 doors on your right. And this hallway is, let's just make it an even 100 feet long, which, since the previous room was only 10 feet long, you have now seen 110 feet of this drill's total 200-foot length.
And do they all have windows or just some of them?
Just some of them. So the first one on your left No window, but no sound coming from behind it either. First one on your right does have a window. A kind of like a quick glance through, Finn, gets you only like a glimpse of more metal and like a pole of some sort. And you also catch a glimpse of movement behind the...
That's where the spiders dance.
Why did he make his drones so horny?
Andy, if you want to like use... Like, if you want to slow down enough to properly look through the window, I can give you more information, but that will mean that you're not able to go as far.
No, it seems like it's just robots in there.
Okay. You continue. The second door on the right also has a window. Looks like you can see more clearly. Basically, you see a human face in the window. Looks like someone on the other side is just about to open the door.
Whoop.
No one you recognize, but there's clearly a person in there. It seems like they probably have their hand on the sliding door groove on the other side.
Finn grabs the other handle.
I'm not strong. That's not a good roll for me. All right, I'm just gonna keep running.
Cool.
I am gonna shout back at everyone else, someone's about to come through here!
Then the door on your left also has a window, and through that you can just see like a bunch of machinery. Just a bunch of machinery, no more information than that. And then the last door on your right, also no window. Just closed.
Can you hear anything behind that?
Not right now.
Like machinery as in a bunch of devices sitting around, or machinery as in like the workings of the drill itself?
Machinery as in it looks like a like furnace room. Like you can see like what looks like a water heater that you'd find in your, like big, large machines.
Okay, I'm gonna stop at that door and try to open it.
Yeah, it's locked.
Then I whistle it open.
Okay, I'm gonna say that the whistle takes an action. What's your speed? 30? So you can't get to that door and whistle. You can dash and get up to that door, but you'll have to whistle next turn.
Alright, fine. Then I dash there and just wait ominously.
Okay. Cool. At the top of the round, you hear... Those of you who haven't moved yet, hear movement from behind the door on your right, but nothing happens yet. And then Malachi, it's your turn.
I would like to lock the door somehow.
The one behind you?
Yeah. If it's a sliding door, there's got to be a track that it goes on. Is there something I could put down on the track so that it can't move?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So kind of like behind it, do you have something that you could wedge back there?
I don't know. I didn't know if there was anything in the hallway.
Basically, like a quick assessment. No, the hallway is empty. A quick assessment of the door will tell you, like you kind of just said, if you shoved a dagger or a stick or something into the back side of the door, the side that it slides into and out of, that would jam it pretty securely. You just need to have something to shove there.
Well, my equipment says I still have a javelin, but I don't know if I've lost that along the way and just forgot to mark it down, because I never used them.
If it's on your equipment sheet, let's assume it's correct. You usually start with, 5 of them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you grab one of your javelins that you almost never use and wedge it in the door.
Nice. And then I will also dash, and I will stop outside of the door where the person is trying to come out.
Okay. So you're standing right there.
But I'm not going to be in front of the window. I don't want them to be able to see me. I just know because Finn said someone's coming out of it.
Cool. So you run up, you take 40 feet of movement and run up kind of right behind it, and are standing right next to it. So you're right there when it opens, but whoever's looking through the window cannot see you.
Can I put my hand on the handle as I don't know, a bonus action or something?
You can put your hand on the handle, but you're not holding it shut or anything.
All right. I'll just be standing there.
Okay. That is actually Nurkrab's turn.
Can Nurkrab play the slide whistle?
I will allow Nurkrab to make a performance check.
All right.
Crab stats.
Let's go, buddy. Ooh, he's a -4 to charisma. Let's go.
You've got this.
I think he's very charismatic.
All right, come on, buddy. Remember everything I've taught you.
He holds the slide whistle in his little crab claws up to his little crab mouth.
We flash back to dozens of times off screen when Finn was trying to teach Nurgle to play a slide whistle.
And now Nurkrab is trying to translate it to its new body.
It's true. That's the problem.
That is a dirty 1.
Yeah. He moves the slide like he's supposed to, but there just isn't enough air in crab lungs to make any sense. You get this, like...
Oh no, he's playing like a gull.
He also doesn't have lips.
Faint little whistle.
We just hear a...
Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately, no.
Well, good try.
Also, I'm sorry, in what fucking universe do crabs have lungs?
I don't know.
This one! He's magic!
Well, it's Ner crab. It's not a true crab.
Alright.
Hey, hold on.
Listen, I can summon him whenever form I like. I always specify that he's a lung crab.
Ew.
How do crabs breathe, then?
Gills.
Do crabs have gills? Hold on. How do Damn. Crabs, like many sea-dwelling creatures, have gills. So that's why he can't blow the slide whistle. He doesn't have lungs.
Because he's putting it to his mouth instead of to his gills.
Oh, Ner Crab, you've always valued form over function.
All right. Regin, that's you.
Okay. So, Hannah, do we think it would be feasible for me to use Shocking Grasp to essentially spot weld the door shut?
Ooh. You could. I will say yes.
I just want to establish if physics-wise that works the way I'm thinking it does.
Yeah, I will say, like, using Shocking Grasp for some larger things might not work, but something like just melting the metal enough to break a sliding door that's entirely made out of metal is feasible. I'd make you roll an attack roll, and if you hit, it would be done.
Okay, so Malachi has just jammed the way from whence we came?
Mm-hmm. It's not, like, totally impenetrable, but this thing already can't really open the door, so it's difficult.
Yeah, perfect. And then... Can I make a be vigilant roll? I want to know what is the most dangerous thing here? What is the most pressing threat?
I will say a perception check. I will give you that information.
Okay. Ooh, 10.
Okay, even with a 10, here's what I'll kind of sum up. You have heard movement from behind, basically the first two doors on the right. Definitely have something moving behind them. I think you would know, based on the way that the spider droid behaved, probably the humans are the most dangerous. They might not be the most dangerous in terms of, like, most hit points and most attack power, but they are probably the most dangerous in terms of can take interesting and evasive actions, whereas the droid, it was smart enough to figure out that it was being tricked, but it still just charged forward and tried to kill you and then got stuck behind a door.
With a nat 20.
Yeah, and it took a nat 20 for it to figure that out. So, probably the humans are the most dangerous, and also with a 10, I'll also give you, Finn is onto something with that this thing needs to run somehow. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna hustle for the people door, and, like, it's gonna be a bit of a diving lunge with my hands outstretched, and basically, like, ideally I want to, like, spot weld it in two places, like, one with each hand, to just, like, seal it to itself, essentially.
Yeah. Go ahead and make an attack roll for me. A spell attack roll.
Oh no, he accidentally welded Malachi's hand to the door!
Now, when Malachi sees what Reagan's going for, Malachi removes his hand.
Dirty 20.
Beautiful. That'll do it. You reach out both your hands, and this lightning crackles from your fingertips, and it's not very much. You don't need to melt very much metal, but just enough that it, like, seeps into the crack around the door, and is going to make it very difficult, if not impossible, to open.
Nice.
And I am picturing myself diving through the air sideways. Like, you know, in Hot Fuzz when they dive sideways through the air shooting two guns? That's what I'm doing. It's just that it's with my hands and it's directly into a wall. So maybe I do hit the wall and bounce off.
Cool.
And I also want to communicate to Alden. We didn't exactly say this, but I was assuming it was the case. But if I have message going with the homies this whole time,
sure,
I want to be like, Alden, machine room.
He gives you a little salute. Cool. It is now the humans behind the door's turn. So you see the one whose face Finn saw in the window, which Regin, you probably saw too as you were kind of leaping past, grabs the door and tries to open it, and it is sticking. He's going to make a strength check to see if he can just brute force pull it open anyway. Pretty high DC. Yeah, he gets a 15, which is okay, but it's not enough. You can see that it's kind of moving and scraping, but it's not actually opening. You do, however, hear, like, voices somewhat muffled on the other side. What are, Regin and Malachi, what are your passive perceptions again?
10.
11.
Okay, so you just hear kind of muffled voices. Clearly there's more than one person in there and they're talking to each other.
Let's hope they don't have walkie-talkies.
No one can get the door open, but you do start to hear a alarm blaring above you.
Yeah, fair enough.
And additionally, all of the doors in the corridor, except the one that is at the far end, but the other doors all slide open or try to. You see the one that these guys are behind tries to, but it's welded shut. The one that's jammed with the dagger tries to move, but it's jammed shut.
Nice.
But the other ones all open. You see that both of the doors that didn't have windows in them look to be like storage rooms. There's just like, you see weapons, random machine parts.
Anything useful?
You'd have to look. Nothing. There's no gleaming golden sword on top, unfortunately.
No arcane cannons?
Probably yes. Actually, some kind of the smaller cannons back in there. Finn, the door in front of you, as Nurkrav is playing the slide whistle, slides open, and you can see.
Did it,
Wow,
buddy.
great job, buddy!
You can see a whole bunch of machines, like pistons are moving, you know, like there's the smoke coming out of various smokestacks, and there is also a spider droid kind of positioned right in front of it, which turns to look at you as the door opens. And then additionally, that last door at the end slides open, and you see these 3, like, small flying drones kind of like buzz out of it into the hallway. Well, I guess they will on their turn. But the humans are all stuck inside this room that is welded shut.
Nice.
That is Alden's turn. He will...
See, I was really hoping that I was just, like, welding them into the bathroom or something, and they, like, didn't have a phone in there.
He's going to ignore these flying robots and run. He will take a full dash to be next to Finn.
Are Finn and I, like, back-to-back? Are the doors we're at both 60 feet down the hall?
No, yours is only 40 feet down the hall. So if you want to have kind of, like, stepped around to the other side so that you went 45 feet, used your full, you can be there. But Finn is a little bit further down, and now Alden is with him.
See, it's just me and Alden hanging out, like happens all the time.
The spider droid that is still trapped in the back room will roll. Rolls a nat 1, definitely can't. No one's close enough to hear this at this point, but there's like a slip and a clattering of limbs as it goes tumbling to the ground.
Oh, poor guy.
Tiny robotic fuck!
Finn, that is your turn again.
First, I minor illusion back in the first room with the droid that just fell down. A sexy lady spider drone looking at him with shame and disgust before it disappears in a puff of smoke.
Good fucking luck ever getting beautiful women to look at you again.
He gives up. He just lies down on the floor. Doesn't bother to try anymore.
Okay, so I've got 1 spider drone in the machine room, 3 buzzy guys flying at me.
On their turn, they will be.
Yeah, there's a spider drone. The spider drone in the engine room is probably the most pressing threat. The buzzy guys are just sort of hovering back at the back right now.
Okay, well, let's see how tough these little flying things are. I just want to Eldritch Blast the buzzing, flying drones that are coming at us.
Yeah, they were all, like, right behind the door, so you can kind of, like, get an angle on one of them. Go ahead and roll them one at a time.
Dirty 20 on the first one.
Hits.
8 damage.
Okay. It does not die. It is still buzzing around, but that is a substantial... It's already, like, smoking and kind of flying askew.
Alright, I'll hit that one again with a 25.
Nice.
Yep, that hits.
And 11 damage.
Okay. It is just barely. You hit it again, and it is, like, kind of just barely still flying.
Ah, come on. Okay, then I'm gonna hit it again with the third one.
Okay.
17.
Hits.
9 damage.
Yeah, you blast it out of the sky. The crumpled construct remains fall to the ground.
I look at the other 2. Let that be a warning to you!
What's these guys' intelligence?
Decent, but they don't seem to care.
Okay. And then I still have my bonus action, so I think I should be able to do this. Let me know if I can't. So I'm going to, once again, scrounge through my pockets with all these trinkets spilling through my fingers, and I pull out a small gleaming emerald and just toss it into the machine room so it smashes on the floor. And I assume a water elemental springs out of it.
Yeah.
Win.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you toss this green gem. You can do that as a bonus action. That's fine. It shatters in the middle of the engine room. Immediately there is like the glass shards of it splash out, and this like wave of water follows them as this not massive, but this pretty big living clump of water is just sloofing in the middle of the engine room. Are you trying to put it like in front of the spider droid, or like on the do you toss it into the machinery?
I toss it into the machinery.
Okay. So it is immediately, there is a hiss of like steam as it lands like right on top of some of these moving machine parts. How does it act on your turn? How does this work?
I don't remember.
Hold on. Elemental Gem 5e. Things that I didn't expect to have to deal with today. Roll initiative for the elemental, which has its own turns. So go ahead, Andy. Roll initiative. Let's get somebody else in here.
That's a 9.
Okay.
And I just shout to the water elemental, "Wreak havoc! Everything mechanical! Destroy it!"
Yeah. It bubbles. This is fascinating. Can you communicate mentally with anything with a swim speed?
That's right.
Yeah, so you hear in your head a bassy, yeah, okay, swoosh, and like the sound of waves crashing in a storm.
Nice.
Okay, that guy's in there now.
I'm Finn, by the way. Nice to finally meet face to face after having you in my pocket for a while.
What? Last I remember I was in the ocean, and now I'm here.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, good. So you weren't like in a torturous frozen prison for a while.
No. Was I in a torturous frozen prison?
Well, apparently not a torturous one.
Oh. What?
But we're also about to go kill the guy who put you there, so...
What year is it?
Oh, dear.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna have to do some reacclimating.
Cool. That is the flying robot's turns. The two that are remaining will move 30 feet down the hallway and then just start firing these little darts from them. They each get to fire 4 darts. The first one is going to aim all 4 of its darts at Malachi, and the second one will aim all 4 of its darts at Regin. So let's do against Malachi first.
Yeah, that's right. You know better than to mess with me.
What's your armor class right now?
19.
Okay, so only 1 hit out of those. The other 3 darts kind of pink harmlessly against your armor, but 1 does hit for...
1 lodges firmly in your forehead.
Yeah.
No!
Only 3 piercing damage as this dart kind of glances across your chin. And then against Regin... What's your armor class right now?
17.
Okay, so 2 hits. So you take... you manage to block 2 of the darts with your gauntlets, but take a total of 11 piercing damage from the 2 darts that hit you.
I'm gonna intercept. Because Reagan's right across the hall.
Reagan's right next to you, yeah, because the 2 of you are in front of the door with the humans behind it.
Okay, sick. So, Reagan, you actually take 0.
So that was 2 attacks that I just summed together. So it was an attack that hit for 8 and an attack that hit for 3. Also, you blocked the one that hit for 8.
Sure.
So you just take 3 piercing damage, Reagan. Cool. Awesome. Malachi, that's your turn.
Okay, how close are these fuckers?
Only 10 feet away from you, but they are hovering. Like, they are flying.
How tall is it?
That's a great question. I didn't establish the vertical dimension of this drill. I think it makes sense for it to be 30 feet tall. The drill is 30 feet tall. There is some stuff like under you. I'm going to say the floor is 10 feet up, so the hallway's 20 feet high. And they're kind of hovering near the ceiling.
Well, fuck these guys, I guess. Alright, well, if the people are still stuck, then I'm just gonna dash for the door at the end of the hall, I guess.
Yeah, you can make it all the way to that door. It is still shut and seems to still be locked.
Can I grab the whistle from Finn on my way by?
Yeah, if he'll give it to you.
You can grab it from Nurkrab.
Oh, from Nurkrab.
You gently take it out of Nurkrab's claws.
And it's an action, not a bonus action.
It is an action, yeah. So
Okay.
you are at the end of the hallway with the whistle.
Nurkrab was like on my shoulder, jumping up and down, waving the whistle around, celebrating, and then he looks up and it's gone.
Can I try and just see if the door just happens to be open?
Yeah, Malachi, you try. It is not. It's also locked.
All right, then as my not a real action when I get to the end of the hall, I jump up and down and wave my arms at the flying bots.
Okay.
I'm going in there!
I whisper to Nurkrab, no, he's not like doing an impression of you. That's just a coincidence. Don't worry.
It's the engine room guard's turn. I think it's going to charge the elemental. So it is going to scramble up onto the machines and just start stabbing the elemental with its little legs. It gets 3 attacks. What's the elemental's AC?
14.
Okay, so 2 hits, 1 miss.
And it's resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Ooh, okay, so it'll take half of this, which is total of 23 piercing damage, but it only takes half of that, so it takes 11.
Nice.
Okay, that is Nurkrab's turn.
Stay close, buddy.
Yeah, he stops doing his celebratory slide whistle dance and snuggles closer to the net that Finn wears.
Oh, don't get caught in that.
The water elemental is not going to use its whelm on... It could use its whelm on the spider droid, but I think since Finn told it to just wreck the machines, it will just be slam attacking the machines.
I will point out, a spider drone is also something mechanical.
This is true. Yeah, so it will use its whelm then, because it doesn't like being stabbed by a spider drone. So the spider drone needs to make a strength save. Fails. So it is whelmed. First of all, it takes 18 bludgeoning damage, and it is grappled, restrained, unable to breathe, although it doesn't look like it needs to breathe. And yeah, it's in there. It's inside the elemental. So
Get gelatinous cubed, idiot.
yep, it's been whelmed. So there is that.
Woo!
That's the water elemental's turn. Regin, that's you.
All right. Well, guess I'm gonna sprout a pair of dragon wings from my back, bitches.
Yeah, cool.
I'm just like staring up at these little flying guys, and I'm pissed because I got zapped by one of them and it was itchy, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get ya, and suddenly...
Yeah, you all see. So Regin does his flying leap past, welds the door shut, lands, rolls, comes up, looks back at these flying drones, and there is a crackle of ozone in the air as, ripping through Regin's shirt, these 2 reptilian wings, expand from his shoulder blades, filling the, you can't even stretch them out to their full width in this hallway. They stretch to either wall, and you know you could still get them to go wider. And yeah, you can take to the air. You see everyone, the humans on the other side of this door, stop what they're doing and are staring at you through the window. Regin, your back is to, as you're looking up at the drones, your back is to all of your friends. But Finn, you're the one who's standing next to Alden, so you hear him let out a low whistle.
Oh, did you get the slide whistle back from Malachi?
No. Never mind. Nothing.
Yeah, I don't even know why he wears a shirt to begin with at this point.
Regin, go ahead and take your action. That's a bonus action.
Yeah, so my bonus action is to sprout my gorgeous bronzy wings. Mm-hmm. My movement is to fly vertical and get in melee with these guys.
Beautiful.
And then I am going to smack the one that hit me with my hammer.
Excellent.
13 to hit.
13 does not hit, unfortunately. These guys are...
My sense of gravity is just all wrong.
You overshoot.
Everything is just weighted differently.
What?
Regin zooms by.
Exactly.
Regin does a full front flip.
But you're up there.
You're just getting your sea legs.
Cool. That is the guys behind the door. They are going to attempt to break it open because that's all they can do. Nope.
Haha.
Idiots.
But you do sort of, it does like grind and shift a little bit. They're working on it.
They're nothing against a member of the Union Steamfitters Guild.
That's Alden's turn.
Jam that shit.
Yeah. So he runs back halfway down the hallway, takes one of his daggers, and just, like, shoves it in the door, further kind of reinforcing that it's jammed shut. Gives a little wave at the guys through the window, and then dashes back. And so he has a little bit of surplus movement here, so he's not all the way to Malachi, but he's past Finn down the hallway at this point.
Cool.
That is the guy who's stuck behind the first door. I'm basically just rolling to see if these guys crit at this point. That is Finn's turn.
Okay, I'm going to try to Eldritch Blast the guys flying up around Regin.
Awesome.
26, 27, and 26 to hit.
Yep, all hit. You might want to do the damage one at a time, because it is plausible that you kill one with two.
Alright, so that's 14 on the first one.
Okay.
7 on the second one.
Okay. It's still up.
Damn.
And 10 on the third one.
Now it's done. 3 blasts of energy go flying down the hallway and knock one of these drones out of the sky.
Alrighty. And then I'm going to summon a tentacle inside the furnace room that smacks the spider drone that's flailing around on the ground. That's a dirty 20 to hit.
Yep, hits.
And 4 damage.
Okay. He's still kicking.
Oh, man.
Literally.
I smack it. I give a thumbs up to the water elemental. Yeah, go team!
Okay.
Oh, and then I'm gonna run over to Malachi.
Great.
Hey, bud.
Okay.
Hey, did you see the water elemental?
Oh, yeah, that was sick.
The single flying one is going to shoot darts at Regin. Only hits with one of them. 7 points of piercing damage from this one dart. Malachi. Nice. You blow the slide whistle, you hear a click. Do you pull the door open?
I don't pull it all the way open. I want to take a peek first just to make sure there's not a little army holding behind that door
Okay.
before we defeat this one.
You pull it slightly open. You see into what looks like you're not at the control room yet, but this is just one large room that is 40 feet long and 30 feet wide. It's reminiscent of when you've seen Retval's laboratories before, but with not nearly as much stuff. There's just, you can see a couple of, what it looks like when he's tinkering with arcane devices, like a deconstructed construct with parts kind of, spread all over the place.
So, it looks like a workroom for him?
A little bit. Some, tools and stuff like that. And then also, clearly, there's some storage. Again, there's just, a bunch of stuff. And then there are some machines that look like what was in the engine room, kind of taking up a quarter of the room. And you also, looking into this room, you see that it slopes up gradually. It slopes up a little bit. And also, I'm going to say those machines are, in the center. So that's, there's machines in the center, and then around it, there's some, work table spaces. Oh. And you see coming around the other side of the machines is one of these spider droids and one bigger construct, bigger than the ones you've seen before. It moves on 4 legs, and it looks kind of squat and heavy. It almost looks like a bull. It has these large pointy things that almost look like horns sticking out the front. And you're pretty sure that there's a door on the other side of the room, but you can't quite see because of the machines.
Okay, then seeing this, do they appear to have spotted me peeking through or no?
Yeah, there's fighting noises on the other side, so they are alert.
Okay, I'm going to slip through and shut the door behind me, but not lock it.
Cool.
Goodbye!
I just figure if they don't have hands, they can't rush into the back hallway until we want them to.
But you shut yourself in this room with them,
yes, I do, because I know that my friends do have hands, and they can come in whenever they want.
Wow, really makes you think. Awesome. That is, the whelmed spider droid is going to try and get out of the whelm. Oh. He actually does manage to escape, so that takes his action, but
man.
he crawls out of the whelm.
Sopping.
Yeah, dripping wet.
I was really picturing this, like, you have you ever gotten, like, trapped in the breakers at the beach, and you just keep on getting, like, whoop, and, like, pile trapped into the sand, and every time you get up, you get knocked. That's what I'm envisioning, a whelm.
Yeah, it's like the 5-year-old who doesn't know that the waves are way stronger than them.
Mm-hmm. Nurkrab.
Nurkrab, keep up the fantastic work, alright?
Except a crab noise.
I don't have any specific tasks for you, just get ready to help me out if something arises.
He's hanging out. The water elemental recharges its whelm, so it'll do that again.
And I will point out, this whelm is an AoE attack, so presumably this is smashing up the, like, furnace and machinery in there, too.
Yes. It's not smashing it as quickly as it would if this thing was concentrating on it, but it is, like, you see, again, these, there's dents in the sides of cylindrical things, and things are smoking, there's sparks flying everywhere. The lights above you guys, like that are lighting these sort of magical ambient torches that are lighting this drill are flickering, as clearly this is being effective.
Good. Nice.
Regin, that's your turn.
I'm gonna swing at the little bitch again.
Nice.
My little friend. Okay, yeah, that's gonna hit. That is whatever 17 plus 8 is.
It's 25.
25.
Hits, yes.
That'll be 10 damage.
Okay.
As I get my bearings.
It is sparking and bits of metal fly into the hallway.
I don't suppose that I could, like, BA grab it.
No. It's definitely, like, concerned with you rather than everyone else, though.
Consider, if you will, the legality of me grabbing this thing and then flying straight down and driving it into the floor with my entire 200-plus pound body weight.
Yeah, I would let you use an action to do that. Cool. That is, the guys are still pulling on the door and not getting out. You kind of can hear, like, muffled shouting, but none of you are even standing there anymore.
What was that?
Alden runs the rest of the way down the hallway, opens the door, steps through, assesses the situation with the guys on the other side, and is like, okay,
Hey, man.
Hi. Hey, with the stuff that Finn is doing to those, that Finn's water thing is doing to the engines, we probably...
Yeah?
Well, if the only goal is to disable the drill, we just need to smash the machines and run. Personally, I came in here with another additional goal.
Oh, I mean, that's not my only goal, but...
Great. Just making sure we're on the same page vis-a-vis
Yeah.
Having other goals. Great. He will throw his 2 remaining daggers at the bull-looking thing. Hits with 1.
Nice.
Dealing 6 damage, because daggers are small. And he's just standing next to Malachi, because he doesn't really have the movement to go anywhere else. And the door is open, because he doesn't have the object interaction to shut it.
All right.
That is, the spider droids all have the same stat block, and I just used numbers on them, so I'm staring at this one like, which fucking one are you? He's the one who's trapped. Remains trapped. Finn, that's you.
I telepath to the water elemental. You got this?
Oh yeah, I'm just continuing to smash stuff, and I'll kill this little robot.
Fantastic. Once you're done smashing all that stuff, you can open doors, right?
I can slide through a space as large as 1 inch.
Perfect. That'll do. Yeah, just follow us in here when you're done.
Okay.
There's more stuff to smash.
Wow.
You got a name, by the way?
No. Can I go back in the ocean after this?
Oh, absolutely.
Wonderful.
And we'll, track down your, descendants, maybe.
Oh my god.
Sir, have you ever procreated?
I'm not really clear how that works.
Oh, we water elementals, we just sort of like split into, we're like amoeba,
Mitosis!
so.
Now that I can respect.
Okay, Finn.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go into the next room as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we got the 4-legged drone and the spider drone and a bunch of machinery.
Yeah, and a door on the other side.
And I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast the 4-legged drone. 23, 16, and 22 to hit.
Yes, those all hit. The 16 just barely hits.
Oh, yeah. That's 35 force damage altogether. As Finn jumps into this room,
God.
sees this big robot, and immediately is like, ah! And reflexively blasts it.
Great.
Oh, hey, Finn.
Cool. Finn, are you standing in the doorway and are you standing next to them or, like, behind them?
I'm stepping through the doorway, so I'm fully in the
Okay.
next room, but staying behind Alden and Malachi.
Okay. And are you shutting the door?
Yeah, I'll close the door behind me.
Cool. That is the one who is in the room with the three of you now. The spider droid. It will charge Malachi and stab him with its pointy things. Legs, that's what those are called. 2 hits, a 20 and a 21. You take 25 piercing damage as you get stabbed. Okay, that's its turn. It is now, like, right in front of all of you. That is, the one flying one that's still up here with Regin. Because you're right in its face this time, I'm gonna make these with disadvantage. Miss. Gang, I just rolled nat 20s in both of those sets of rolls with disadvantage. Hit, actually, even with the disadvantage, and miss. So you take, 6 piercing damage. Okay, so that is the bull droid. It charges forward. It kind of, like, lowers its head and starts to charge. And for a second, you think, Malachi, as you're standing there in front, that it's going to run you through with those horn spikes sticking out of the top of its head. But instead, a little, like, hole opens up right in between the horns, and this green gas expels out from the front of it, hitting all three of you and the spider droid. It doesn't care. It's hitting it also. So I need Constitution saving throws.
Sure.
Everybody's in aura.
9.
17 from me.
Cool. So, Malachi saves. Everybody else fails. Finn, Alden, and the spider droid. Finn, you start to feel your feet suddenly become very, very heavy, and as you glance down, you see that your feet, a gray stone is starting to creep up over your legs, as if it is going to, you can see it slowly creeping its way up your legs.
Oh god, Malachi, it's happening to me, too!
My thing is cooler than that.
And you see the same thing is happening to Alden. He sort of, like, he moves and tries to shake it off his foot, but it's happening as well. And to the legs of this spider droid.
Right.
Finn, at the moment you are considered restrained. Malachi, that's your turn.
So, Hannah, does this appear to be a situation which a lesser restoration could improve?
I will say at this stage, yes. Like, because they've both, it hasn't reached, like, it's just reaching up to their knees. So at this point, I will say that a lesser restoration can cure it.
All right, well, I guess we'll go for that now then, instead of attacking it. I'm gonna use 5 lay on hands to try and unstone Finn.
Gonna feed Finn some Taco Bell.
Yeah, you lay on hands, Finn. You see the stone kind of, like, recedes away from your toes, Finn. You are no longer considered restrained.
Oh, thank goodness. I don't know how I was going to be able to swim like that.
All right, I guess it's a circular room, yes?
Yes, like it's a donut, yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll stay here for now.
You also...
Oh?
The hatch from this is probably not relevant. I just realized I should mention it at some point. The hatch from above you looks like it drops down into this room. Like, you can see it above you, the sort of circle, big, like something could be brought down into here. All right, continue.
Good to know. I think then, just for the moment, just in case I do need to unstone Alden next round, I guess I will stay here for now.
Okay, cool. The one that's fighting the water elemental will go. Hits twice. The water elemental takes 19 damage, halved to 9. Nurkrab, I assume, is just hanging out with you, Finn.
Yep.
Water elemental does not recharge as well, so we'll just attack, which frankly might kill him faster. Yep, hits with both of those. Yeah, that guy's dead. You see, no one's, I guess Regin still, you kind of hear from where you're still grappling with this flying one, you hear the sounds of a spider droid getting smashed to bits.
Woo!
Cool. Regin, that's your turn.
Great. I'm just like, to hell with this, and put my hammer back up, and I'm just going to grab this thing that's within melee of me. And what I am ideally striving to do is I want to just grab it and, like, rotate around so that I can fly, and by fly I mostly mean fall, in, like, a nice long hypotenuse, and just crash land this thing into the floor with me on top of it, and just, like, scush it.
Sure. Yeah, it's pretty small and only has 12 hit points left, so I will say, make an athletics check, and if you can get a good grip and get the momentum you need, it will be dead.
14?
Yeah, that's good enough. You manage to, it's maybe not as, elegant or impressive as you'd like it to be, but there's no one here to see anyway. All your friends are in the other room, so you somewhat clumsily manage to get a grip on this thing.
I telepath to the water elemental. Let me know if Regin does anything cool, okay?
Who's Regin? You manage to grab the robot and kind of clumsily smash it into the ground, and see the light leave its little robotic eyes.
Nice. I would also then like to huck its corpse that is ideally sparking and or like has like toxic fuel or whatever into it. I want to huck that into the machine room that also has like stuff exploding in it.
Yep.
And just see if I can like compound anything explosively.
Yeah. It looks pretty bad in there. The water elemental's doing a good job. The lights above you go out in this hallway. Although, interestingly, not in the room that the rest of you are in.
Interesting.
But you see, things are definitely starting to break down.
Oh.
I will say, Regin, as you're looking in, you note that, like, although things are breaking, the flow of power is unimpeded. Like, you can kind of see that, like, sparks and smoke are still coming out, which lets you, like, nothing in here is what's powering the drone, is what kind of clicks for you. Yeah, and you run further down the hallway?
Yeah, I head for the door.
Cool. You can't quite get to the door, but you're, like, right on the other side of it. Those guys are still stuck behind the door.
I'd also like to BA dismiss my wings.
Okay. Cool. You fold them back in. Okay, that's Alden's turn. He is going to try to get rid of this spider droid.
Okay.
Take his 2 attacks. Both hit. Yeah, he kills it.
Yeah.
So that he smashes his sword through the top of it. And then he's going to make a Constitution save. He has a +6 to this from himself. And then Malachi adds an additional +4. So he's adding 10 to this roll.
Good.
Okay. Rolls a 10, total of 20, which is enough that he is able to kick the stone off of his boots.
Nice.
If he had failed that, he would have been petrified.
That's what I was worried about.
But he manages to shake it off. Great.
Finn puts his trident back on his back and was like, oh, thank goodness, I thought we were about to have to amputate.
With a trident?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I appreciate that you were ready to do that. Okay, that is... Oh, yeah. I did the same thing I did last round. I ran into this guy in my initiative and was like, who the fuck is this? It's the one who's still trapped behind the door. Finn, that's your turn.
All right.
I'm just going to take him out of initiative, because now he'd have to get through 2 doors to get to you guys, and there's just no chance.
We really fucked that guy's whole day up.
Okay. How far away is the bull robot?
He is 15 feet away from you.
All right, well, fire off the old trusty Eldritch Blast.
Awesome.
13, 18, and 15 to hit.
Ooh, only the 18 hits.
8 damage.
Okay.
And then I will remember that my tentacle is back in the machine room.
True.
Where I'll say for the past couple rounds, it's just been flailing around, whacking into machines.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I move it so that it is now in the room with me, right in front of the bull specifically, and it smashes into that. Or it doesn't, with a 15.
No.
Well, it waves there menacingly. And then I'm going to move further into the room, keeping a distance from the bull robot. So I'm not going past him, but going around the wall of the circular room.
Easily done.
I want to move towards the big machines.
Yes. You can get all the way up to... This room's a lot smaller, so you can get to the big machines if you want.
Oh, nice. I do.
Cool. So you're standing kind of like around the side a little bit next to the big machines. That's the bull's turn. Does not recharge. So it is going to back up.
Okay.
Backs up 5 feet, lowers its horns, and charges Malachi.
All right.
That is a...
He's already stone, you fool!
Oh, damn!
Malachi gets out a little piece of red something that he carries on his person and waves it.
Only gets a 13 to hit. So it puts the horns down, charges at you, and you manage to...
Malachi just stands there.
You have to do something that I can describe. You manage to get your axe up and kind of like catch it.
The 2 horns go right around Malachi's tiny little waist.
What? Sure. However, it misses is the point.
Yeah.
Malachi, that's your turn.
All right. Well, now that I have its horns around my tiny little waist, I grab them in my hands, pull them back, and I try to chop its head off.
Awesome.
Does a 17 hit?
No.
Fuck! Okay. I'll try and chop its head off again.
It's very metal plated.
Okay, 28 will hit, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 19 damage.
Awesome.
And I'm going to infuse my weapon with acid damage with the chromatic infusion as my bonus action.
Awesome. The water elemental continues smashing shit. It will, on its next turn, be done and come back toward you guys. That is Regin's turn.
I will enter the bowl room. I enter the donut room, and I'm going to spot weld that door shut as well.
Behind you.
Wait, what about my elemental?
It can come through the crack.
It can squeeze under.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
The interior doors are not watertight.
Okay.
So I stagger in and spot weld that door shut behind me.
Go ahead and make a spell attack roll.
Trying to like shove my errant wing somewhere. It's like having a nip slip. That is 26.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, the door is so welded.
It's like a beautiful weld. Like it's a really nice, like, scalloped weld.
Yeah. Awesome. Any bonus action?
I'm going to rage.
Nice. That is Alden's turn. He is going to attack the bull. He's going to make his first attack a trip attack to see if he can not get prone.
Wow, king.
If he hits, which he doesn't. So he's going to do that on his second attack. Hold on, he's got this. Yeah, he hits with that one. 25 to hit. And so he does 13 damage.
Nice.
And then let's see if this thing is knocked prone. Yeah, it saves. He tries to sweep its legs out from under it, but it's a lot harder to do on something that has 4 legs than something that has 2 legs, so it manages to keep its footing. Finn, that's you. The construct looks pretty beat up. It still definitely, like, has some power to it, but it is, like, smoking in several places.
Alright, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast it.
Nice.
Alright, I feel good about this. That's a nat 20. So a 30, a 22, and a 26 to hit.
Yes,
Nice.
those all hit.
And so I deal 45 force damage.
Oh my god. Yeah, you kill it.
Yeah.
It had 34 hit points left. So you just lean around the metal thing to where Malachi is still kind of grappling with it as it's trying to shove its horns into him, and you just blast it, leaving it a smoking ruin on the floor.
Malachi's left just holding 2 horns aloft.
I shout to Alden and Malachi, see, you guys should have just done that.
I'll be sure to blast him next time.
Yeah, not all of us can shoot beams. And it's a bit of a sore subject, okay?
Insensitive much, Finn?
Oh my god, I forgot. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Kind of why we're here.
So
I whispered down to Nurkrab, I'm gonna have to get him like an edible arrangement or something. I can't, I gotta walk that back.
Nurgle pulls out a little pad and is already writing down edible arrangement possibilities.
I think you got to attend a workshop for that one, Finn.
Okay, so there are no immediately present threats. You can hear that there is still the noise of the guys trying to break out behind you, but there's enough doors to go through that we can exit initiative. And the water elemental, after a few seconds, starts squeezing its way under the door. What do you do?
Look around the room first, see if there's anything that we can use in here, or anything that will tell us anything about Lithios's plans or the like.
Make an investigation check, and also tell me how long you're willing to spend.
Not longer than a minute, I think.
Okay.
I'll also poke around with Detect Magic on.
Ooh, okay.
I got a nat 20.
Okay.
I just want to look around and ideally focusing on that center console thing to see if there's any like paneling I could rip open to get into something meat. Basically, I just want to fuck shit up, and I am willing to piss on something if that will help disrupt the machinery.
You can make the water elemental stronger.
You and the water elemental just start letting it out on the center console.
Please.
Well, I'm not gonna piss on your friend unless he asks.
Yeah, please don't piss on me.
Oh, he doesn't want you to piss on him, actually. I got a 6.
Okay, so Finn, you find another slide whistle, and you're like, oh shit, this is great. But it's non-magical. So
He just likes whistles.
I give it to Nurkrab to practice with.
Regin, Alden he's gonna go across to the other door and listen at it first. He kind of like looks back at you guys and is like, no voices, but I can hear like a humming sound coming from in there. Regin, as you're investigating the like center console, you notice that there are like wires that run out of the top of it and run like toward the front of the drill, like into the next room, whatever it is. You start breaking things. You rip open panels, you pull out wires, the water elemental helps you. You guys just kind of take...
My baby dragons are also still here fluttering around, chewing on things.
Yep, yeah, you're still in a rage, so you are like, especially the first few seconds of doing it is very, very empowered. You were able to, and the lights above you guys kind of flicker out in this room as well. Before they do, though, what on earth could be here that is worthy of a nat 20?
That golden sword that wasn't there earlier.
There could be this gun kills Retval gun.
There isn't.
His greatest mistake was inventing that.
There is a, like, primed and ready to go arcane cannon, one of the handheld arcane cannons that is, like, right there.
I'm gonna hand that off to Alden.
Yeah, he takes it. He's like, yeah, this is more effective than throwing daggers. He also collects his daggers that he threw in this room. You find a dossier, a manila folder, the fantasy equivalent of a manila folder, a leather-bound folder, I don't know, with what you kind of immediately upon paging through it can see that there are, like, missives in here from various generals, like names that you recognize. You see your grandfather's handwriting, like 3 down. And you also see the king's seal in a few places. 1 minute isn't time to, like, look through these papers, but it's enough to be pretty damn sure that this is valuable. And the other thing you find, as you grab this folder, you shove it into your bag, and then you look up, and your eyes immediately light on a cube. Sitting there with the, like, this one is, like a dark purple with kind of, like, swirling, smoke inside of it. Just, like, sitting there,
Sure.
On top of a, like, bronze platform. You grab it off this, like, bronze plate that it's sitting on, and you feel, like, a flicker around the drill, as if this was, like, part of what was powering it. And you feel like you've destabilized something. And you pocket it.
Is there a big boulder that's going to start rolling through the drill towards us?
No, not that kind of destabilized. But you guys have also noticed you've smashed a lot of the machinery and you've grabbed the cube. Probably mission 1 of what you came here to do might even be complete, but
Nice.
There's really not much talk of leaving yet. Alden at the far door is like, are we ready?
Malachi sticks the stuff in his pockets and takes his place at the door next to Alden.
Okay.
Do we think this thing is destroyed enough?
The water elemental's like, I could keep working on it in Finn's head.
Yeah. My nameless friend here is gonna keep smashing some stuff up.
That might be best. Regin. Malachi, jerks his head towards the door.
It's now or never, I guess. Though it would be really fucking funny if we did just do all this and then leave. And he, is in there. Because you know what? I bet his dumbass is sitting there in a swivel chair, and he knows.
Oh, yeah, he's waiting to turn around.
And he's just gonna turn around, and it would be really funny if we just never came.
It'd be pretty funny.
It would be pretty funny. We all stand there giggling about this for 15 seconds. We're all trying to cover our mouths as we sit there giggling, laughing our asses off about how fucking funny it would be. No. Shh, guys, shh.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hold up my hand with my ring of spell storing on it and say, hey, couldn't hurt to have a little more backup, and cast Summon Aberration to summon a Slod, a monstrous frog creature in the room with us.
Okay.
And I say, all right, everyone. This is everyone. Everyone, this is...
I hope I'm not supposed to replicate that noise. The Slod makes a blah, blah, blah noise and, waves its arms. Alden's like, should I shake its hand? Does it understand handshakes?
If you want. It operates on a level of etiquette incomprehensible to our human minds.
Honestly, I'm looking at the amount of slime present, and I think I don't want to risk losing grip on my sword.
Wow, and that's why you and I are different. And I shake its hand vigorously.
There's a lot of slime. It doesn't seem to understand why you're shaking its hand, but it goes with it. Cool. Are you guys doing the kind of, stealthy peek through this door, or just opening it?
I think we're just gonna bust this one open.
Cool. So, the 5 of you, now that you have the Slod with you, arrange
Wow,
yourselves...
not even gonna use his name. Very respectful, Hannah.
Yeah, you could just in editing, copy paste yourself saying it in there. You slide... Oh, you have to use the slide whistle. This door is also locked.
Damn, that really ruins the
You
moment.
slide whistle.
I give it to Nurkrab so he can try, and it takes 5 attempts before it works.
No, in your side, in the... You know how you have those little flappy bits? Yeah, now, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He jams it in his gills and makes the slide thing.
Malachi's readjusting his grip on his axe 10 times, just okay.
All right, here we go. I'm going. I'm doing it.
And now,
all right.
no. And now.
Finally, you slide the door open.
Man, sliding a door open is so much less impactful.
You are indeed looking into the bridge of the drill, the command room. It's a large room, plated with copper and iron and suspiciously quiet. Where you enter, where you see where the door opens into, is actually a balcony, kind of in the back of this room. Remember, the previous room sloped up a bit, so it looks like you've gained a little bit of height, so that there's a balcony about 15 feet up from the rest of the room. The windows at the front are relatively small, meant for gaining a vantage point above the bulk of the drill itself. There's a staircase off to your right that descends down to the main floor. Beneath the windows are a series of control panels. Finn, these are vaguely reminiscent to you of the ones that were in the room at the top of Retval's tower that you broke into to rescue Malachi and Regin. The rest of you never saw that room, but a lot of the controls and stuff look similar. However, your attention is diverted from the control panels and the windows to what's at the center of the room. The center of the room is taken up by a large, somewhat familiar-looking crystal. It's suspended in the center, rotating extremely slowly. The woman inside still has her eyes closed, asleep or dead, and all her veins are standing out with golden light. Last time you saw her, she looked like static and frozen, preserved in this amber crystal, completely unmoving. But this time, the golden liquid in her veins is pulsing and moving like liquid flowing through transparent tubes. It also looks brighter than it did before. She's glowing. It's very, like, she barely looks like a woman. There is so much magic just, like, standing out right under her skin. As you look up, you can see that there are tubes and wires coming out of the top of the crystal. A network of wires that kind of disappear into the ceiling and seem to trace back further into the rest of the drill. And you guys are reminded that you have not seen anything in the previous rooms that looked like a power source. If you look down, you can see that below the crystal is like a metal platform, and you can see that there are 4 cubes at the corners of this metal platform, seeming to have like a stabilizing effect almost. You can feel the hum that Alden mentioned hearing of raw arcane energy. Finn, I don't know if you still have Detect Magic up, but if you do, it is like blinding in here. You can see it's sort of being reflected by glowing runes around the walls and also by the metal carapaces of 2 humanoid constructs who are standing down on the floor, kind of near to the crystal. These big ones, not quite as big as the ones you fought in Marquand, but bigger than you. Just standing there, totally still, standing at attention. You do not see any sign of Dr. Redfall.
Hey, free cubes.
So how far from the edge of the balcony is the wiring and stuff above the crystal?
Height-wise, it's like about the same level.
Right.
Width-wise, it's like 15 feet.
Like, would it be long jumpable or not?
Maybe with a really good athletics check. It would certainly be easier to shoot or throw something at it.
Or to fly to, perhaps.
But I'd be willing to let you try, or to fly to.
So do we want to just destroy all this stuff too? What's the play?
If we break her crystal, does she come out?
Probably.
I look at Alden, who might know more than us about this because he's friends with Nell.
Yeah, his pupils are kind of big. And he, like, looks through the door and then kind of cautiously steps into the room. And he's like, I think breaking the crystal would probably be a good idea. Cutting the wires would probably be a good idea. That's a lot of power.
Yeah.
Right there. It might be dangerous to do it, but he steps in and he's like, I'm gonna get closer.
Oh, well, Malachi's gonna walk in with him then.
Okay. So Alden kind of like goes across and descends the stairs.
Okay.
It's still just, like, completely quiet. The constructs don't move. Everything is just still. Alden, like, steps a little bit closer to the crystal and is kind of, like, looking at it. He's gonna make an investigation check. Finn and Regin, and Slod, are you guys still standing outside, or are you entering the room?
I'm entering, and so is my Slod.
Okay.
I am entering, and I also want to climb up on the presumable railing of the balcony.
Okay, cool. You climb up on it. Finn, are you staying on the balcony or descending up to the other 2?
I'm staying on the balcony.
Okay.
Taking everything in.
Okay. Alden kind of, like, makes a circle around and, like, looks up at it and is like, yeah, this... I think probably if we destroy it, it'll explode. But, that might be the move anyway. As he's saying this, the air, like, shimmers a little bit. The air shimmers a little bit in the corner of the balcony, nearest to Finn and the Slod, a little bit away from Regin. In the corner kind of by the door where you guys came in, the air shimmers. The door slides shut on its own, and you see, like, stepping out of thin air, as if he's, like, stepping from behind a curtain, the familiar figure of Dr. Redfall takes off his glasses, kind of it adjusts them slightly, polishes one of the lenses, kind of looks around the room as if he hasn't a care in the world before leveling his gaze at Regin and saying, "Well, I see you've all met my lovely wife." And that's where we will end our session for tonight.
Oh boy. I can't wait to go stand within 5 feet of that bitch when he starts casting spells.
Finn looks at the camera and goes, "Wait, Reagan's your wife?"
Ba, 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 da, ba.
Okay.
This is gonna be great.
Nothing bad will happen to us.
Okay, thank you all so much for listening. If you enjoyed that, which we most certainly hope you did, you can find us other places on the internet.
I enjoyed it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. Well, you, Taylor, can find us other places on the internet. We are at Ship of Fools Cast on Twitter,
Where?
Tumblr, and Instagram, as I'm saying. You can also find us over on Patreon at patreon.com/shipoffools for our fun bonus content.
Wow.
Right after this, we're going to go...
I'm going to tell all my friends.
Yeah, we're going to go sink down in a beautiful mud bath and discuss the events and what we think is going to happen next and the stuff like that. So again, patreon.com/shipoffools. We appreciate each and every one of you who's ever looked at that page.
True.
We have some people we need to thank. Thank you to Theo Golden for our logo art. You can find him at tgoldenart on Instagram. And thank you to Lucas Mangold for our theme music. You can email him for any of your music needs at lucascarlmusic@gmail.com.
That is, in fact, Carl with a K.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you, Nolani.
Yeah, I'm sure they've spent so many episodes forgetting this.
Yeah.
I was in jail.
And you can find us back with our next episode to resolve, all of that. I'm sure it'll be fine and chill.
What needs resolving? We're basically done here.
You're basically done. Things are fine. No one stands in your way. You can find us back with our next episode on May 2nd. And until then, I will see you on the open seas. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, we water elementals, we just sort of split into, we're like amoeba.
Mitosis.
So.
Now that I can respect.
Hey. What did the amoeba say when his sibling stepped on his...
My toes, sis!
Wow, I didn't even get to say the joke, Tyler.
Yeah, who could have possibly foreseen that was
Shut
going
up,
to be the
Andrew.
answer?